Welcome to our second autumn Qigong video. It's part of a seasonal support series. It's a modern Qigong, so it's really good if you're time poor. You might be a busy mum or working full time. It doesn't take up much time and it's quite simple to learn, and it just leaves you feeling amazing. It's really good for balancing our energy and balancing our organs. In particular, we're focusing on our metal element in Chinese medicine, and that relates to our lung and our large intestine meridians and organs as well. So that's what we'll be focusing on in these 4 videos. If you haven't done the first video, we're just going to stand in a basic stance, which is just our legs hip width apart and our feet facing forward. We've got our shoulders just relaxed down away from the ears, and we're just going to pretend you've got like a little golf ball under each armpit. So it just brings the arms out a little from the side, keeping fingers pointing down, quite strong at the wrists and hands, and just taking a nice deep breath, staying nice and open in the hips. And it's nice to begin just by centering yourself, taking a moment. You may have rushed to come and watch the video, so just taking a few nice breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. You might want to close your eyes and just feel yourself in your body. Quite often we rush around in our minds all day long, so it's really nice just to get back into the body. And we're just going to begin just bringing the arms out to the side and meeting at the fingertips up above the head and coming back down through the center of the body. Just really drawing in that energy from around ourselves and bringing it back into ourselves. Remembering to breathe, not hold your breath. We're drawing that energy, and we're actually drawing it in down to our lower dantian, or our hara point, if you've heard of that. It's just our energy center. It's one of our main energy centers, and it's where we store our personal power. So if we can breathe from that center, we can withstand what happens during our days. If something stressful happens, the more we learn to breathe into our hara point, the more sturdy we feel and grounded within ourselves. Okay, so the first form is one of my favorite forms. It's called a Qi massage, and it's something that you can do anytime that you're feeling a little bit sluggish. It's a really good energizer boost. It gets the body flowing again, all the energy flowing through the body, and it's just an amazing one, especially for that 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you start off with just your fingertips, or you can use your knuckles if you like, and you're just going across, tapping across the chest. I'm just trying to avoid the microphone so it's not too noisy for you. And up and down the chest. We've got lots of beautiful acupressure points, and this is an amazing spot to tap if you're feeling really anxious. And just taking some deep breaths while you're tapping into here, or you're a little bit nervous, you might be about to go on and do a public speech or go for a job interview. You're going to stretch out one of the arms, and you're going to tap down the middle inside of that arm there, all the way down to the little finger, rotating the arm and back up on the outside, all the way up at the back of the shoulders, and then coming across, starting at the armpit, all the way back down the inside, which is our heart meridian, all the way down to the little finger, turn the arm and coming back up. And we're tapping just behind our shoulder area, all up the back of our neck and our head. It feels amazing when you start tapping around the head, not too hard. And tapping on our forehead, we've got some emotional stress relief points on our forehead, so it's another really nice one to tap if you've got something going on. And tapping on the outside of the eyes, and just under the eyes, just where the cheekbones are, just gently on the face, and under the nose, in the center under the lip, the bottom lip, around the jaw. Usually feels quite nice. Sometimes it's quite tender, just on the jaw area, just under the earlobes, so we can just give the earlobes a nice massage all the way up, all the way around the ears, just uncurling them You can spend a bit of time there. And then down the front of the throat, with our throat chakra, back to the chest, and then around the liver area, and our spleen meridian. When I say meridians, I'm just talking about energy lines in the body that all relate to specific organs. And then to our kidneys, kidney area. It's a really nice spot to energize, a really important spot, particularly as the weather starts to cool down. It's a really good idea when the weather starts to cool down to get a heat bag or a hot water bottle and pop it on the kidney area if you're sitting down, and keep the kidneys nice and warm. We hold a lot of fear in our kidneys. And just on the inside of the legs, all the way down as far as you can reach. If you need to bend your knees, you can. If you like to go around to the toes, you can. Behind the legs, all the way up the calves, behind the knees, up the back of the legs, back down towards the hips to our leg gates, and slowing it down, and then just bringing it back to a basic stance. Just taking a nice breath and close your eyes, and just feeling now the difference. You might feel a little bit of a buzzing in the hands or some tingling in the head. You might not feel anything, but that's okay. It's just becoming more aware of how the body feels. Okay, so for the next form, we're going to stand. It's called a horse stance. So it's going to be a little bit wider apart, still feet facing forward. And this is our lung breathing. So it's for our lung meridian. And we're going to begin with putting our palms together, so like a prayer position in the middle of the chest. And then we're just stretching our arms out to the sides at shoulder height. And keeping nice and strong at the wrists nice and flexed with our fingers pointing upwards, and coming across back to how you started. So now as we come out, we're going to stand up a little bit taller as we're stretching out our arms. And then as we're bringing them back into prayer position, we're just going to dip at the knees, just gently, and back out. And then we're just going to start to breathe in and out as we do it. So breathing in as you're stretching out, and then breathing out as you're coming back in. And just going at your own pace. Trying to remember to keep the wrists nice and flexed. Bringing them back into the prayer position. Bringing the legs back to the basic stance and slowly releasing the hands back down. So our third form is called opening the golden envelope, and this is our metal element form. So this is the form that will support the lungs and the large intestines. So we begin this form in a basic stance, and we're bringing our hands just out the front of the body, so it won't be on the body, and it's called holding the belly. So imagining you've got a big round belly, and you're just gently caressing the bottom of the belly there at the front of the body. So just take a nice deep breath in. And with our fingertips touching, we're going to bring them up the center of the body and stopping at the chest and just rotating so our palms are facing inwards towards the lungs and chest. Again, it's not on the body, it's just out of the body. So it's just shining into the lungs, and it's really nice to take a few deep breaths here. Again, really supporting the lungs. Then we're going to just lean forward and we're going to scoop out in front, slowly all the way down, and then just scooping back up again, up through the center of the body, and resting our palms just outside our ears, facing in towards our ears, bringing our elbows back and squeezing the shoulder blades. Reaching our arms up, palms facing in and looking up. Then we're going to rotate the wrists, facing the palms out and bringing them back down to the sides while you bring your head to face forward again and back to holding the belly. And to finish, it's nice to bring the palms out and shine onto the lungs again and just take some nice deep breaths. And just feel into the body. Sometimes emotions might come up. That's all part of it. It's all very normal. Our fourth form for today is called knocking on the door of life. So we're just going to gently, standing in our basic stance, we're just swinging the arms, one in front, one behind, twisting at the waist. So we're not moving the knees, we're just twisting at the waist, keeping our feet facing forward. Our back arm that's swinging behind is going to knock on the middle of our spine, about where the belly button would be. And the front one coming across will be knocking on our hips. Now, if you like, you can look over the shoulder of the direction that the arm's going across. Trying not to bend the knees and moving them side to side. Some people find that they get a little bit dizzy and would just prefer to look forward, and that's completely fine. It's just like a swinging motion with the arms, swinging out in front, one behind. Remembering to breathe. It's easy to hold our breath when we're learning and concentrating. Just becoming aware of the breath. And then just slowing down the arms and bringing them back down to the basic stance again. Our fifth form for today is we're going to just rest our arms just up in our crevice of our back, lower crevice of our back. So if it's comfortable for you, just holding the wrists, or you can hold the forearms, whatever feels more comfortable. And this is just a neck tilt. It's a really nice one for stretching out the neck. So we're just going to start off with putting one ear to the shoulder, the same shoulder, just bringing it down, keeping the shoulders down. We don't want to bring our shoulders up, keeping them nice and relaxed, and just stretching it out. You might feel a nice stretch on the opposite side of the neck. And bringing the chin down, looking down, then bringing it back up and looking up. Like we're making a semicircle. And keep doing this for a little while, because it's just nice and slow and gentle. Anything with the neck, we want to be nice and slow. If it's starting to hurt, bring it back up a little bit. And tucking the chin in and bringing the opposite ear to the opposite shoulder. You might find you're a little bit tighter on one side. Dipping the chin down, looking down, bringing it back up and stretching it back up. Feeling that nice stretch. And tucking the chin in, bringing the head back up and the arms back down to basic stance. Now we're going to close the doors. We're going to bring the arms back up, or the gates, whatever you want to call them. However, it's easier for you to remember. Drawing in that energy, keeping us energized for the next day. Now, if you'd like to keep watching, I'm going to do all the forms without the instructions.